Unit No. 02. Topic 02. Military interventions and democratic transitions. Lecture No. 07. Lubna Mebob. Librarian. OISC. Government Girls Degree College KTS. Harapur. Military interventions and democratic transitions. Unit No. 02. Topic 02. Military interventions and democratic transitions. Lecture No. 07. Lubna Mebob. Librarian. OISC. Government Girls Degree College KTS. Harapur. Military interventions and democratic transitions. Subject: Pakistan Studies. B.S. Zoology. First semester. Dated October 16, 2025. Contents: 1.1. Introduction to military. 2. Causes of military interventions. 3. Interventions and democratic transitions. 2. Causes of military interventions. 3. Historical perspectives on military interventions. 4. Factors influencing military interventions. 5. Challenges in democratic consolidation. 6. Case studies of military interventions. 7. Conclusion. 8. References and recommended books. Military interventions and democratic transitions. Introduction to military interventions and democratic transitions. Part 01. 1. Introduction to military. 2. Causes of military interventions. 3. Interventions and democratic transitions. 1. Introduction. Military intervention refers to the direct involvement of the armed forces in political affairs, often through coups or martial law. In many developing countries, including Pakistan, military institutions have historically played a dominant role in politics. Democratic transition, on the other hand, is the process through which an authoritarian or military regime transforms into a democratic system, emphasizing civilian rule, constitutional governance, and public participation. Defining military interventions. 1. Military actions. Involvement of armed forces to influence political outcomes. 2. Diverse objectives. Restoring order, protecting civilians, or supporting regime change. 3. Varying degrees of involvement, from limited operations to full-scale military campaigns. 2. Causes of military interventions. 1. Political instability. Weak political institutions and frequent changes in government create a power vacuum. Civilian leaders' inability to govern effectively invites military takeover. Two, corruption and mismanagement. Economic crises, inflation, and corruption make the public lose faith in civilian governments. The military presents itself as a stabilizing force. 3. Weak democratic culture. Lack of democratic traditions and political tolerance. Political leaders often depend on personal loyalties rather than institutions. 4. External factors. During the Cold War, some military regimes received international support, e.g., from the U.S., in the name of stability and anti-communism. 5. Military's institutional strength. The army is usually well-organized and disciplined compared to fragmented political parties. This gives it the confidence and capability to seize power. 3. Exploring democratic transitions. 1. Defining military interventions. Military involvement in political transitions to democracy. 2. Factors influencing democratic transitions. Role of military, economic conditions, and international pressures. 3. Challenges of democratic consolidation. balancing civil-military relations and establishing stable institutions. The relationship between military and democracy. 1. Military's role. Military often plays a key role in democratic transitions. 2. Civilian control. Establishing civilian control over the military is crucial. 3. Challenges. Balancing military power and democratic governance can be complex. Part 03. Historical perspectives on military interventions. 1. Military coups and regime changes. 1. Drivers of military interventions. Historical factors, political instability, and economic conditions that lead to military coups. 2. Outcomes of military regime changes. Impacts on democratic institutions, civil-military relations, and long-term political stability. 3. Comparative case studies. Examining military interventions and their consequences in different regional contexts. Successful and failed democratic transitions. 1. Factors for success. Stable civil-military relations and commitment to democratic norms. 2. Causes of failure. Lack of institutional capacity and political will for reform. 3. Lessons learned. Importance of inclusive, gradual transition processes. 2. Forms of military interventions. Un direct rule, coup d'etat. Complete military takeover, e.g., Pakistan 1958, 1977, 1999. 2. Forms of military interventions. Un direct rule, coup d'etat. Complete military takeover, e.g., Pakistan 1958, 1977, 1999. 2. Indirect influence, hybrid or controlled democracy. Civilian government operates under military influence or supervision. 3. Political mediation. The military acts as a mediator between competing political forces, influencing decisions without taking full control. 4. Consequences of military interventions. Positive, short-term. 1. Temporary political stability. 2. Administrative discipline. 3. Control over law and order. Negative, long-term. 1. Weakening of democratic institutions. 2. Culture of dependency on the army. 3. Suppression of civil liberties and political opposition. 4. Delay in institutional reforms. 5. Politicization of the military itself. 3. Lessons learned from past interventions. 1. Importance of context. Analyzing the unique political, social, and economic factors that shape past military interventions. 2. Unintended consequences. Examining how military interventions can lead to unforeseen outcomes that undermine democratic transitions. 3. Balancing security and democracy. Exploring the delicate balance between ensuring stability and fostering democratic development. Part 04. Factors influencing military interventions. 1. Political instability and regime legitimacy. 1. Erosion of civilian authority. Weakening of democratic institutions and processes. 2. Perceived threats to national security. Concerns over internal and external threats. 3. Lack of civilian control over military. Imbalance of power between civilian and military leadership. Two, economic conditions and resource conflicts. 1. Declining economic opportunities. Military may intervene to secure access to natural resources or economic assets. 2. Unequal resource distribution. Grievances over unequal distribution of resources can lead to military action. 3. Economic instability. Periods of economic crisis or recession can increase likelihood of military intervention. 3. Geopolitical considerations and external influences. 1. Shifting global power dynamics. Changing regional and international power balances can shape military intervention decisions. 2. Proxy conflicts and superpower rivalries. Interventions may be driven by larger geopolitical conflicts between major powers. 3. Economic and resource interests. Access to strategic resources or trade routes can motivate military interventions. Two, geopolitical considerations and external influences. 1. Shifting global power dynamics. Changing regional and international power balances can shape military intervention decisions. 2. Proxy conflicts and superpower rivalries. Interventions may be driven by larger geopolitical conflicts between major powers. 2. Geopolitical considerations and external influences. 1. Shifting global power dynamics. Changing regional and international power balances can shape military intervention decisions. 2. Proxy conflicts and superpower rivalries. Interventions may be driven by larger geopolitical conflicts between major powers. 3. Economic and resource interests. Access to strategic resources or trade routes can motivate military interventions. Part 05. Challenges in democratic consolidation. 1. Democratic transitions. Definition: the shift from an authoritarian or military regime to a democratic political system, emphasizing civilian supremacy, elections, and rule of law. Key stages. 1. Liberalization. Relaxation of authoritarian controls, e.g., release of political prisoners. 2. Transition. Introduction of elections and civilian institutions. 3. Consolidation. Strengthening of democracy through rule of law, accountability, and public participation. 2. Balancing civil-military relations. Maintaining oversight. Ensuring civilian control over the military while preserving military autonomy. Professionalization of the armed forces. Developing a politically neutral, merit-based military culture. Reforming security sector. Aligning security institutions with democratic principles and practices. 3. Institutional reforms and governance. 1. Strengthening institutions. Implementing legislative, judicial, and electoral reforms to bolster democratic institutions. 2. Improving governance. Enhancing transparency, accountability, and citizen participation in decision-making processes. 3. Adressing corruption. Implementing anti-corruption measures and promoting integrity in public administration. 4. Factors supporting democratic transition. 1. Strong civil society and media. 2. Active judiciary and independent election commission. 3. Education and political awareness. 4. International support for democracy. 5. Reconciliation among political parties. 6. Reduction in military's political role. Five, reconciliation and transitional justice. 1. Addressing past abuses. Balancing accountability and stability through restorative justice. 2. Rebuilding social cohesion. Fostering dialogue and community-based reconciliation initiatives. 3. Institutional reforms. strengthening rule of law and democratic institutions. 6. Challenges to democratic transition. 1. Continued military influence in politics. 2. Weak governance and corruption. 3. Lack of political consensus. 4. Poor economic conditions. 5. External pressures and regional conflicts. Part 06. Case studies of military interventions. 1. Middle East and North Africa. 1. Military coups. Examination of military coups in the region and their impact on democratic transitions. 2. Counterterrorism efforts. Analysis of military interventions aimed at combating terrorism and their socio-political consequences. 3. Peacekeeping operations. Evaluation of the role of military peacekeeping forces in facilitating democratic reforms. 2. Latin America. 1. Democratization efforts. Examines military interventions that led to democratic transitions in Latin American countries. 2. Challenges and obstacles. Explores the political, social, and economic obstacles faced during democratic transitions. 3. Lessons learned. Analyzes the key factors that enabled successful democratic consolidation in the region. 3. Southeast Asia. 1. Impacts on democracy. Examine military interventions in Thailand, Myanmar, and Indonesia. 2. Challenges to stability. Analyzed how interventions disrupted democratic processes and led to political instability. 3. Lessons learned. Discuss strategies to mitigate negative effects of military involvement in politics. 4. Case study. Pakistan. Pakistan has experienced 3 major military interventions. 1.1958 Ayub Khan. First martial law, aimed at stabilizing governance but led to centralized rule. 2.1977 Zia-ul-Haq. Martial law under the pretext of political unrest. Islamization policies introduced. 4. Case study. Pakistan. Pakistan has experienced 3 major military interventions. 1.1958 Ayub Khan. First martial law, aimed at stabilizing governance but led to centralized rule. 2.1977 Zia-ul-Haq. Martial law under the pretext of political unrest. Islamization policies introduced. 3.1999 Pervez Musharraf. Military coup justified as correction of political corruption. 5. Democratic transitions. 1. 1988. Transition after Zia's death, democratic rule restored. 2. 2008. Transition after Musharraf's resignation, civilian democracy resumed. 3. 2018 onwards. Strengthening of electoral politics despite challenges. 6. Ways to prevent future interventions. Strengthen democratic institutions. Ensure transparency and accountability. Educate citizens on democratic values. Define clear civil-military boundaries. Promote political unity and national interest over personal gain. Part 07. Conclusion. 7. Conclusion. Military interventions undermine democratic growth and delay institutional development. Sustainable democracy requires rule of law, civilian supremacy, and strong political institutions. The success of democratic transitions depends on the commitment of both the political elite and the public to uphold constitutionalism and reject authoritarian tendencies. Part 08. Books recommended books for reference. 8. Recommended books for reference. 1. Huntington, Samuel P. The Soldier in the State. 2. Samuel P. Huntington, The Third Wave, Democratization in the Late 20th Century. 3. Aisha Jalal, The State of Martial Rule, The Origins of Pakistan's Political Economy of Defense. 4. Hassan Askari Rizvi, Military, State, and Society in Pakistan. 5. Stephen P. Cohen, The Pakistan Army. 6. O'Donnell, Guillermo, and Schmitter, Philippe C. Transitions from Authoritarian Rule, Tentative Conclusions about Uncertain Democracies. Unit No. 02. Lectura No. 07. Military Interventions and Democratic Transitions. Thank you. Subject: Pakistan Studies.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.